Okay, so I'm going to make this little recording to review what I talked about on the call in terms of accessing the spreadsheet, since I know that was kind of quick and you might not have gotten everything I said during the call. So I think you're looking at my screensaver right now. Nothing I did. It's Catalina, comes with the operating system. Anyway, so starting in Teams. So here we are in Teams in the website development channel. If you're up in general, you're going to want to go down to the website development channel. And then you're going to want to go to SharePoint, which in my case, and I think probably in everybody's case, unless they got a really big screen, is going to be under the ellipsis because there's not enough room on the banner for all these things. So open in SharePoint. And now you should be seeing COVID-19 support team spreadsheet. Open that up. And that is the spreadsheet. And if you want to work on that there, that's completely fine. Personally, I find it easier to work on my own desktop. I think that may be because I'm on a Mac. I don't know. This looks pretty familiar, but I just rather work on my own desktop. So I'm going to go up here where it says Open in Desktop App, and wants to know if I've got Excel completely shut down on my desktop. So it's going to open up Excel. And as you may have seen, it said, all done, you can close this file now. So I'm going to close SharePoint. So now here's the spreadsheet. And I've got it set to freeze here. So I can scroll and keep seeing the titles and keep seeing the numbers. So since our call, I added a couple columns here based on conversations that happened in the call. And so one of the conversations had to do with whether or not we needed to have, multiple links for essentially the same website. And Blackboard's a really good example, which is right here at the top. So Blackboard itself, it is somewhere in the Google Docs. I don't know if that link is out on the website or not. But I put in a column called website priority. And basically what I mean by that is if the page here, if the link that was in the Google Docs that presumably is on the website is a home page, then just mark primary. If it's not, mark secondary. So it doesn't matter how many layers down it is, levels down it is. If it's not the home page, just mark secondary. Now, there may be some exceptions. So for example, in the PBS stuff, we have PBS Learning. Well, pbslearningmedia.org, I guess that sounds like a homepage. So I'll mark that primary. Media.org subjects, the arts, music, that would be a secondary. So again, we can go back and fill these in later. We can leave them blank. They don't have to be there. But if we want to keep track of how many websites and not include all the additional pages on a website that we think are important, we want to keep track of, but we don't want to count them as a separate website for some reason, this is a way to do that. Another thing that I got the impression Kaylee was bringing up was there are so many features on these pages. So for example, registration required. There are sites, some commercial, I guess it's mostly commercial, but it could be not-for-profits, that require registration. So one, for example, is called Delta Math. Delta Math is a really good application that I learned about from classmates in stuff that I've taken in this program. I would never have found it on my own. I don't even think it was part of the course. I think I learned about it from other students. But it's a really great math website. Kids can use it on their own. It gives you answers. You can just essentially set up your own homework. So it's a really excellent website. But it tells you nothing about itself. It's very strange. So the one thing I know, though, is you can't use it unless you register. It doesn't cost any money, but you got to register. So I put a column here for registration required. I don't know if ABC requires it or not. I'll check that. I just gave that as an example. But I marked those as true, false. So, maybe that's true, maybe that's false. I'll check it and I'll correct it if it's not right. Is there a free version available? So, there are a lot of sites, as we know, that are commercial but free for educators, or commercial but free because of the situation we're currently in. So they're only going to be free for a while. So you could set it to true today and change it back after June 30th or whenever it goes away. But I thought that was something we'd want to have here, because obviously there are schools and parents and students who are not going to want to go to a site that they can't use for free. And then advertisements. That's separate from free. There are a lot of sites that actually are free because they're financed by advertising. And I mentioned one today called Calculation Soup, which is somewhere here. And it's a really good, I can't find it right now, but it's a very good math website again. Has tons of stuff, all free, but it's full of ads. So I added these 3 columns. We can add that information. Now, just to review, the academic domain column, that was something I thought of, may or may not be important. Allows you to say if it applies to all areas or just to humanities or STEM. I'm not quite sure why STEM is not showing up there, but there it is. Yeah. So, and then target grade level, elementary, middle, or high. And then all the courses, ELA Lit. This is the order I saw them on the website, but I broke out the science further. So, for example, if you got something like ABCU, which when I looked at it has stuff on biology but doesn't have anything on chemistry or physics or earth science, that's how I marked it. So if it's got any science at all, this is going to be true. And then if you have specific information about what science it covers, and a lot of times it's all of them, you put in true. Social studies, history. There have been some sites on geography. Nobody asked me to break that out. I can do that if you want, but obviously I've been including that in social studies. But if somebody wants a separate category for geography, we can certainly do that. Coding and digital literacy, art, music, health education, physical education, world language, ENLS, ESL, and special ed. Special ed's a little tricky because there are plenty of applications out there that I think are totally fine for special ed students, but they're not specifically special ed sites. Not my area of expertise. So I apologize if any of those is set differently from the way it should be. And then here are comments. And as I said, I initially didn't put comments in because I didn't think it was my place. And then I realized I probably should start putting them in. So where it makes sense, I've been copying text directly out of the Google Spreadsheet, the Google Docs thing, and then where I thought I could write something shorter or simpler or clearer, I just did that. So that's it. That's the spreadsheet. So again, the way this works is if you're in the Google Doc, and I think I can get to the, no, not there. We're done with Teams. So if I go to the Google Doc, which I think I have here, so I just added WebEx in a previous attempt to make this recording. So let's find the next one that I haven't done. So wood math, yes. I have no idea if this was just added since our call today or if I just missed it, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So I'm copying that link. I'm going to go back to the spreadsheet. I'm going to go here. And that's how I can add it easily. So now I've got Woot Math. I don't know what Woot Math is. I'm going to assume that's the name. And I'm going to take a look. I got a pretty good feeling it's a math application. So here, bring mathematics to life. Enter students, enter your code here, log in. Okay, so that kind of tells me right there you've got to have some kind of access. Formative assessment, actionable data, adaptive learning, close the gap, sign up today for teachers, districts learn more. So it's free, but it does appear to require a sign up. That is my impression. And the teachers are the ones who sign up and they get a code and they give it to the teacher, or they give it to the students. So looks like a math app. So I'm going to put subject application. It's a primary website. That's the home page. Registration seems to be required. I'm going to say true. It didn't look like it cost anything. and it didn't seem to have any ads. So at least for now, they can always be changed, but that seems to be what it is. So it's a math thing, so it's STEM. Uh, didn't look get a close enough idea, but let's just say I think, can I tell if it's good for all grades? Oh, sorry, it's in Safari. Um, there we go. K through, okay, so yeah, good through K through 12. There you go. Preview. You can get previews, but it doesn't look like you can really use these without getting your teacher to set it up. As long as I'm here, I'm going to grab this comment. I haven't even read it. I'm just going to take it. It was good enough for the Google Docs. It's good enough for the spreadsheet. Hello, spreadsheet. Come on. There we go. So I'll go over here, and this is actually important. So I just copied from a website. I don't want to put HTML in. So I'm going to go paste special, and I'm going to pick Unicode text, which means I'm just going to get text. If you put HTML in, it's going to be HTML, and that's not what you want. Not in that place. You can, but you don't want it. So I'm going to go fill right. I'm going to assume since that's actually a bad thing to do, this is all about math, so that was a mistake. So ELA literacy, no, it's a maths page. And I'm not sure about science. It might have some science in there, but I'll let somebody else figure that out. So I'm going to actually just make all these false. There I go. And again, I will take a closer look after I end this video, but I don't want to bore you to death. So, and I'll correct it if it looks like it's wrong. And then finally, I'm going to put under review because it wasn't read, so I don't know if it's up on the website yet. And that's that. That's how you add them. Okay, so I can let everybody go. And if that have more questions, just send me an email or let me know.